So, name's Ben Rowland from Apex Kitchens. I cover Wirral mainly. I got into a bit of background about myself would be being a joiner for 15 years. So I've done commercial, and then I've also went into domestic doing, and then I also done like new builds as well, from like start from the foundations type thing. I've even done like timber framing. I've done basically all the joinery work. So got to a point where I've always had like the entrepreneurial feel and wanted to do my own business. But what the problem was is I'd learn bits and bobs, and then as I was actually learning and trying to build build my business, I didn't really understand what to implement first and things like that. And then when I actually found myself, it was quite refreshing because I had literally seen an advert you telling us not to go to the trade counters, but then what actually brought me in as well was I was actually looking for how do I get my own brochures and how do I do this and how do that, and that was one of the things that you offered at the time. So I can remember thinking, right, okay, this is good, and then I looked into it and I was thinking, this is just like the brochures is nothing compared to what actually you need to be focusing on. And I can remember thinking at the time, okay, like I'm way off here, like I'm thinking small, and I can remember thinking I'm thinking so small compared to what you actually have to do and put in. And I can remember one of the things that one of the first couple of weeks when I joined, there was something that he did, and I can remember thinking, I would have never known that. And I can remember it was, I don't know if I can say, it's only a little thing that you've done, but it was, I can remember always saying how to grow your company. It was one of the first conversations you had. And it was going, okay, so if you're fitting, you being a busy fool, you're booked up, but you're busy. But if you had, for example, you're winning 2 jobs a month, and you're consistently winning 2 jobs a month, to grow your company and you don't want to take any people on, you don't book more people in and get everyone up. You raise your prices by 10% because your conversion rate is showing that you can, and it's showing that's how you grow. And I can remember thinking like, oh yeah, like that makes sense, like as a business rule. And I just thought that's how you grow. It's not, you don't take on more work. You get to a point where you can have a solid margin and then progress from there, and then take people on when you've got that like comfort blanket where you can spend a bit more on like hiring and stuff like that. So yeah, that was about it really.
So what was your frustration then before you sort of seen us and you got involved, like when you were a joiner? So you were a joiner working on site,
Yeah.
doing your own thing, always had that, I really want to do something else. So what were your frustrations at that point? What made you want to do that?
So I've always wanted a better life for me and the family, and I've also wanted to have the freedom to do what I want, which has really been appealing to me.
So just on that for a moment then, how was the industry stopping you from doing that before?
I seem to do so the industry stops because, like I said, when I moved into the kitchens, I started from doing commercial things. So I used to work at Chester Zoo and things like that. And then I moved to do the self-employment, which was my first entrepreneurial step, doing the new builds and things like that. And then I got to a point where, right, I'm going to do the domestic, which is another step where I started my joinery firm, which was completely all mine, and I was my own business. For me, the frustration was I was trying to work but make profits. But what I didn't understand was how that profit system works, and to try and get into that business mindset, it's completely different to just doing a good job and getting a review. It was so much more than that, and for me, that's where I kind of got stuck. I was like, right, okay, I've got my business, I'm doing well, I get referrals, but at the same time, like referrals shouldn't be the only lead source, and it shouldn't be the only thing that you're aiming towards. There's so many more stuff involved, and for me, I just got to a point in doing the joinery thinking, right, doing a good job, getting me reviews, that's it. But over the years went by, I was thinking, I'm still in the same place, not growing, and it was so frustrating for me. And then as soon as we come into the academy, because I wanted to focus on kitchens, then I thought, what do I like enjoy doing? What should I what should I fully go for? Kind of niche, pick one instead of trying to do the roofs, the first, second fix. I just thought I want to do one, pick one. And then luckily I came across you guys, and then since then it's been, you can tell just by looking back over the 1.5 years now, you can see just by looking back the steps that's progressed and what will happen. So I don't think it's if it's going to work, it's about of when how long it will take to get there, rather than my old joinery business where, well, I'll do my best, but I'll see where I get to. I feel like I've got a plan. It's implementing the plan and going as fast as you want by implementing as much as you've learned.
So what were your first thoughts when you first seen the academy then? What did you first think when you first looked at it and thought?
So when I opened I was skeptical. I was nervous because I can remember thinking this can't be true. Like, this is what I want, and it's a bit more than what I wanted as well. So I was watching it, I was thinking. So I had a phone call with yourself. I had a phone call with Lee, and then I can remember having a phone call with Lee because I think I did, because I was skeptical. I'd done 2 or 3 calls with you, and I spoke to Lee, and Lee was like, right, Ben, you can make a decision. You can go back to what you're doing. That doesn't work. Or you can take a leap of faith and do what we tell you to do. What have we got to lose? And then I was thinking, okay. So took the jump. And then as soon as I took the jump, I've never looked back. It's by far the best business decision I've ever made. And I have looked into a lot more than, like I said, I have looked over, and like the courses that people have, it's not a patch on what actually you get from the academy. Even the advice that I get from you and Lee, I think that is priceless. I don't think there's anywhere else that I can do that, and I feel like I've really took advantage by asking you questions that I think I know, but then in reality I don't.
So what was it that made you go, right, I'm going in? What made you just go, right, I need to do it?
The reason why I took the jump was because I knew really that what I was doing wasn't working.
And the hamster wheel.
Exactly. So I was going round and round, doing the same thing, still doing good jobs, but at the same time not growing, not doing the right things to implement into your business to grow. And I was just, if I stayed where I was, I'd still be there now in the same exact position 2 years on. And that's where I've got to from now. It's incredible, to be fair.
So life inside the academy then, how do you think it is compared to doing it on your own? You know, like doing it in the academy.
It's a million times better. Even down to the guys in the academy, you're around the people that you need to be around. You're around the same people, the same mindset, that who want to grow, who have ambitions. They're all entrepreneurs who want the same things as you and can steer you in the right path, because it's so easy to get the negative things in your head from the normal people who you speak to on site or people you're working with, and it's so easy to go, oh yeah, no, you're right, I won't do that. But you get around the people who are like, yeah, let's go for it, come on, you can actually do better than that, let's go faster, let's go harder, and like that in itself can just snowball.
Yeah. So do you find the community side of it important then?
Yeah, massively. I feel like you're part of something. I feel like you can have some issues and people have the same issues as you, and then they think, oh well, what I've done to sort that is, and the things that they even say to you is priceless, because you think, okay, well that would have took me 2 years to learn on my own, and it's just literally told me, and you think, okay, there's priceless things everywhere. Yeah, and like I said, one of the things I do really think is priceless is the advice that you and Aaron give. You're on the end of the phone call with any decisions that come up that day. So if you're thinking, oh, I'm going to do this, let me just run it past Aaron, and he can give us the actual honest feedback of like, well, what's your chain of thought there? And then you think. So one of the things that I had a problem with, which Lee pulled me on, was I was quite emotional, as in I would think emotionally about things. So if I won my first kitchen, I'd be like, right, got it, I've made it, that's it, I'm done, I'm laughing. And Lee would go, Ben, it's your first kitchen, like, congratulations, but keep your head on, and it was the same the other side of it. So on the other side, I lose my kitchen, I'm like, oh, I've honestly worked for weeks to get that. And he's like, Ben, it's one kitchen. You sold 3 the other week. Stop being so emotional and get your head back into where it needs to be. And then I was like, all right, okay. So now it's like, for me now, when I'm winning jobs or losing jobs, I'm going, oh, okay, it's part of the process. I don't
Think
even
it's
think.
Do you think it's dangerous that then? So when you're talking about the emotional roller coaster that people go on, what would your advice be? Obviously, Lee's give you advice there, but obviously it's easy for us to give the advice because we know we've got years and years and years and years of experience. People that come into it that are new, that literally get a piece of good news, they go up. They get a piece of bad news, they go down.
Yeah, that was me. That was me. That was 100% me. And I feel now it's you make decisions off fact of what's actually happened or numbers. Like you said time and time again, you make a fact on numbers. If you're going to grow your business, and the fact is one of the actual lies that you covered was if you want to grow, and you want to do a certain thing, do it on your percent chance. Look at all your numbers. If it's 51% that you're going to do well, do it. If it's 49% of you not don't think that's going to work in your company because of the numbers, not because what you feel like, then don't do it. That to me, I was like, okay, so that's how you make decisions now on how if you want to grow or if you want to take a step back, and that's how I feel like it's made a huge difference to what I think about now, and even to the point now where if I come across problems, I don't go, God, I just go, okay, what do I need to do here? Like, there's no emotion in it at all anymore. You don't have the problems. You just think, okay, let me just get over this before I move on. And it's not, you don't get tied up. It's just the process of being an entrepreneur.
Yeah, it's interesting you should say that because one of the things that we have found with Academy members or ones that have that what we're getting onto there, that being able to control your emotions, just to dwell on that for a minute, is really important because we've had people leave the academy because they had a problem with the trade counter service. Like it might have been a few doors that came damaged, something, because shit happens, doesn't it? No
Yeah,
matter what
yeah,
happens, no
yeah,
matter what fucking supplier you've got, there's always going to be problems. But we've had people like leave the academy because of stuff like that. And you're like, hang on a minute,
yeah,
just fucking stop for a second and think. You are throwing away a business and life opportunity because you've had a problem with your supplier. And you think that going to your next supplier is going to be like all sunshine and roses. And you're like, hang on a minute. I don't know what it is. It's a lack of emotional intelligence in it because
yeah.
the
Small
reacting,
thinking. Yeah,
it's just ridiculous. And you think it's like, but the one thing that I would say is central to my success, and I'm not just saying this, is I stuck with the same suppliers for years through thick and thin. And believe me, they fucked me over plenty of times, but they also pulled me out the shit plenty of times. And it
yeah,
goes round in circles. Do you know what I
yeah,
mean? So, and I think when you react so emotionally with things, and this is just one example, but we see it. And when people say to me now, because before we would try and convince people, oh no, it doesn't matter, we'll sort it out. But now if someone starts and goes, oh fucking, I've had enough because of something that's happened on, all right, well just fuck off then, mate. Do you know what I mean? Because you don't get it. You're clearly never going to get your emotions under control. So if you can't get your emotions under control, you're just not going to be successful anyway. So you're better off out of the academy if you can't do that. Because, well, again, I've learned that, haven't you? Because we all have to learn this. It's not something that comes easy and it's not
yeah,
something
yeah,
that comes natural. It's something that you've got to learn through experience. That actually reacting like that doesn't
yeah,
help. It actually is very counterproductive because you're starting again. Do you know what I mean? You go to a different supplier, you do this, you jump around. You're fucking going around in circles again. Do you know what I mean? Like, so how did you learn it? What were the things that made you learn it?
Well, Lee kind of just said it to me. It was like, Ben, don't take this wrong way, but you're too emotional. You're emotional about your decisions. You're emotional about this. And then I can remember going, like, got emotional about it. I
You
can remember
bastard.
thinking, didn't take that well. Like, and I can remember being like,
You got emotional about it.
yeah, I did. And that's what I was kind of like, okay. So I think within like, I stewed on it for about an hour, and I was like, yeah, do you know what? He's right. He's right. And I thought, like, that proof's in the pudding there, isn't it? And I can remember putting a message in the group chat going, yeah, do you know what, lads? I didn't take that well. And then I got a response of you going, well, as long as it was constructive. And then I was thinking, yeah, do you know what? If you can take that, it's a choice, isn't it? You can take that and go, right, okay, I'm going to learn from that. Or you can take it and go, no, I'm right. I'm still right. I'm not emotional, but I've
But
just,
this is the ego, isn't it? This is the
yeah,
this is where the ego doesn't like being told that it's wrong.
yeah, it is
You know,
100%. And that's what I kind of thought. You do have to make that choice of like, okay, do you want to learn and take the advice of the experts, or do you want to just carry
yeah.
on as you are?
There was my coach years ago. I used to fucking struggle with this. Believe me, like when I used to say like, like now I go on like I've always been perfect, but I do make the point of saying to people quite a lot that I failed my business. I was highly emotional in the first few years. All these things that I'm trying to get out of people very quickly are things that I suffered with a lot. Do you know what I mean? So I know the impact of them. But my coach used to say to me, and he used to fuck him up, piss me off. But he used to say to me, Aaron, he goes, you can be rich or you can be right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Which one do you want to be?
yeah,
Because
yeah,
if you want to be rich, you've sometimes just got to accept you're going to be wrong and just get
yeah,
on with it. He said, if you fucking stop every time someone barks or there's a problem and you let everything distract you constantly and you take everything personally, you're fucked. He said, you're never going to get there. He said, just so you got to make decisions there, let things go. You've got to let things go, just move on. And that's why it's like, I always say, like, just stay focused on the fucking things like, say it, your scorecards, your fucking cash flow sheets, your weekly to-do list. Just stay fucking ruthlessly focused on those things and accept that suppliers are going to fuck up. Accept customers are going to be bellend sometimes. Accept that you're going to get things wrong sometimes. The world isn't perfect. Stop waiting for it to be perfect because it ain't fucking coming. And focus on the things that you can control. And it's mad how when you get that mindset, everything just changes.
Do you know what I will say as well? Going back onto the thing where you're saying you can get hooked up on things, and if you don't have the positive thing where you approach it going, okay, I'll tackle this problem, it actually rubs off as well. So I can remember if I had a problem with a client being in my joinery company or doing my Apex stuff. Say for example, if I missed the door, if I've actually missed the design, I've missed the door on there, and it's not come, and I've gone, oh. So you can do one or the other. So you can make it not an issue, or you can make it an issue. And I feel like your emotion has got a lot to do with that. So you can
Oh,
go,
fucking hell,
right,
100%.
they forgot this. I forgot this. Oh, it's a paint to order. It's going to take 5 weeks. Oh, yeah, I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry. Or you can approach it going, you know what? One of the orders hasn't come in, but I've got on it. I've got this. I've got that. It's going to be on the 22nd. The customer's like, yeah, fine. But if on the first instance, if you're like, oh, I'm sorry, and like, oh, come on, this is going to take me ages now. It's till the 22nd. And it's so much. It, problems aren't problems. If it's you make your own problems.
You can definitely make a problem bigger when it doesn't need to be, and half the time, yeah, you're right. It's 100%, but it's such a mature way, and like say mature, like you're a child, but I don't mean it like that. I mean it like, but then again, it's amazing how many grown people are fucking immature. Because I look at it sometimes and think, bloody hell, you're a grown bloke here. Do you know what I mean? Like, come on, you know what I mean? These things aren't that important, but I think that I just think inherently sometimes tradespeople, all of us, because we're so highly charged when we're on the tools and we're running around and we're trying to provide for our families, and then you make this transition into sort of trying to be a business owner, it is like you need to let go of the old
Yeah,
fucking way of being,
yeah.
and it is really difficult. But that's why I always say to people in the academy as well, you've got to unlearn. It's all right learning everything, but you got to unlearn because you can't bring your old traits into the way to be, because it doesn't always rub off, does it? But yeah, I'm glad that you've got on top of that. I wish everyone would.
Yeah.
To be fair, there's most people in the academy they get it. Do you know what I mean? And I think this is again some of the things that we look for now is that when someone starts being overly everything's a problem all the time and they're just being a pain in the ass, and it's just like you're just starting to see that actually this is not going to work in the long term. Just let it fizzle out, because it's not helpful. They're never going to make it. They're never going to be able to do what you do because they'll never be able to control these little events. They'll always turn them into massive dramas. So we've got on top of our emotions, and that's all good. So how has being in the academy impacted income and opportunities? So tell us about those two things. What's changed since?
So first opportunities. For opportunities for me, I completely think differently. I don't. So it's what I was saying before about you just get your leads and you try and do your leads and you work your leads as a joiner, as a my old business. But now leads don't just turn up on and just go, oh yeah, you go and get them. Like I've had there's a builders campaign that works tremendously well. Like I can remember thinking like, that was gold to me. I was thinking, of course, like
So let's talk about that for a minute, because this builders campaign. So just for anyone who's new or watching later on, because we know what we're talking about here, but in the academy there's a builders campaign. So the idea of the builders campaign is that you've got your business, obviously B2C, so business to customer, so your retail, Mrs. Jones and those types of customers. But then the idea of the builders campaign is that locally you can offer a design service and a supply service to builders who are just going into Howdens and people like that. So the idea of the builders campaign is that you make contact with the local builders and try to create a relationship around that and have like B2B, like, help them with their customers, do referrals. Because if they're going into Howdens, a place like that, why can't they come to you? You can offer a design service. You can offer a good product. You can help them with their customer just the same as any of these trade counters. So that's what the builders campaign is for anyone watching. But you really jumped on this, didn't you? Like as soon as you launched it, you were really proactive. So what
yeah,
did you
yeah,
do?
and it was just. I feel like I got a list of 30 builders, and then there's also your plasterers and things, and the electricians and stuff as well, which I also did. But I really had that success with the builders. But I feel like you kind of in the academy as well as a bit of a sales guidelines of how to approach the sales. So I kind of had that same mindset to actually approach the builders as like a sale, because you want them that they are like a lead which kind of generates leads. So I was thinking, okay, so how can I sell this to a builder? So I was like, okay, so you can when you get to a point in the academy and you learned the basics, your sales process kind of will beat any builders, any tradesman. So it's not just the kitchens that you're helping out with the builder, you're actually helping them sell. So I get a lot of kitchen quotes now through my builder before they've sent their price out, because once I do my kitchen renders, that helps them, and then they've got the sales process through me. They've got a step-by-step process and they understand it. Builders don't tell them what's the step-by-step process, and people just need to understand. More information, the better, and the more trust that you build. And by just going through us, you give them the 3D render, you do the sales process, you break that stranger barrier. You're someone that you can be trusted, and you actually boost the builders campaign, builders conversion rate as well at the same time as selling the kitchen and doing your job. And I've had a couple of builders who've kind of grabbed that with both hands and go, Ben, as soon as they've had a survey done, they're like, Ben, get a design for this and get us a kitchen sorted. And it could be a ballpark kitchen. It doesn't really matter at the start, but what we provide is such a it blows everyone out the water. And to compete against that, he understands that he's got a better chance of winning that job if he has it all in his quote done, especially with the loom videos at the end as well. So that's really good. And yeah, I jumped in with both feet, and it's really helped.
But you did some outside the box stuff as well, didn't you? You did some cold calling and really ringing
Yeah,
people up.
yeah. Well, to be honest, when I first started the academy, money was a bit tight, and I can remember thinking, I will do anything, but what I won't do is spend a load of money and hopefully it works. Even though what you put in the academy 100% works, I just didn't have the money to be spending every week. So what I did was I thought, okay, so I'll run and I'll do everything that's free, and I'll 100% give it 100% of my effort. So with the builders campaign, you get a list of your numbers, and I called them. Called. I think it was more like 50, to be honest with you. And some of them, I think most of them, there's one or two who you get oh no, I don't need that, don't. But they are small time builds who are thinking small, and the people who were actually established was like, yeah, great. When can we meet up? Let's have a coffee and let's go through it. I actually still to this day, if I walk around and I see a decent builder when he's got the sign outside his door and he looks professional, he's got his master of the building on the van, I wouldn't hesitate twice of just walking past. If I've got a quote that I'm doing and I see his van, take a picture or go actually knock and see if we can find him. Just say, oh, I'm Ben, I'll do a kitchen thing, a quick chat, because I actually feel like in person it's a lot easier to do a cold call, as it were, because you build trust by just going over and you've got your stuff on, and you can they think, oh, this guy's well presented, looks professional, and that helps his brand. Like, don't forget, you are helping their brand as well. And I've known this just because there's so many builders now who don't don't do a kitchen extension without asking me first to get that renders done for them.
Yeah. So it's worked well for you then, the builders campaign.
Yeah, massive.
So what advice would you give to someone who's thinking of doing that builders campaign? What are like the key pointers that you think they need to be aware of?
I feel like it's a bit intimidating to actually go, oh gosh, I'm going to ring all these guys. But if you learn for every single phone call that you do, by the end of it, you're the best friend of all of them. I can remember the first one, I think he was like, what? No, boom. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, next. First, boom. I was like, oh, okay. So then I was like, okay, that didn't work. So I'm not actually saying the right first sentence. I can remember saying to the referrals, I can remember in my head, I can do a referral fee with you and we can work together. And they don't even know what a referral is, to be honest with you. So I would not even promote that as a thing, because they're quite trusting as well, builders, believe it or not. They'd rather you help them with the sale. So if you approached them, was like, hi, I'm Ben, I'm your local brand. And even if you offered them work and you were like, right, okay, I've actually got a load of kitchens that I've lost work on because I can't do the end-to-end service for the building. Would you be interested if I could pass you a couple of bits of work, and then you could do the extensions for me, and then I could go and fit the kitchens? And then they bite your hand, like, yeah, oh, absolutely, yeah. And then before you even know it, you don't even have to ask. They ring you and say, Ben, I've got a kitchen here for you. And it's not, without even asking, you kind of suggesting giving them work. It's like right, okay, this is the guy that I need. He's going to help me out, I'll help him. They don't even think about it. It's just like a natural thing that they do.
Yeah, so it's about making the partnership. So maybe we edit the script a little bit in the academy to include what you've just said there, so that can
Yeah,
help other people.
yeah. Like with the script, like I think I did it slightly before the script came out, so I don't think it was I wasn't picking that apart. What it was just what worked for me when I did it and when I made my own kind of script, because you were talking about it. The only reason I can remember doing the calls, and it was because you were saying we're having a lot of success with the builders thing, because you were doing testing it, I think. And before you came out with the packs, which is a lot better than what I did it before that. So the scripts were what I made, to be honest with you, which wasn't, and I just edited them every time I did a call and thought that didn't quite work. I'll just scratch that out and replace it with something a bit simpler, usually. And then at the end of it, I had this piece of paper. I thought, okay, and I just read that roughly. But you always make sure what they're telling you, and it's always better to listen rather than to try and talk over them with your promotion. If you just stood there and listen for that conversation for 5 minutes, you've built trust by just showing that you can listen. That to me, I can remember thinking, right, okay, that's when they ask the questions, then you answer.
Yeah. So it's networking and building relationships, really, isn't it? I mean, how important? I mean, networking's huge. Do you do any other networking?
So I did networking in my local Liverpool branch, but it was, for me, I struggled with it. I feel like I find it's quite hard to promote. You kind of got to promote yourself a little bit and feed yourself back up a bit. And for me, it wasn't a natural thing. I feel like I'm a lot more natural talking to people. Like recently, I put in the group as well. I went to an estate agent. I thought, I've seen these signs go up an awful lot around where I work, and they're usually big houses, perfect clientele for what we're looking for. At the start, I'll go in there when I've got time. I'll go in there when I've got time. And then he just bite the nail. It's where it said implement stuff. It makes things happen. And so I went into the estate agents. So I walked past. I didn't want to leave anyone out, so I kind of seen them. There was about 6 of them. Went to the coffee shop, bought 6 coffees, walked over the road, came in, had a bit of a joke. I said, "Oh, hope they're all lattes. Hope you don't mind." Next thing is one of them on the desk goes, "If you pass us all your details, I'll use you for me the maintenance works. So if that needs a new kitchen," and then they said we just put an extra 10% commission on the top. I said, "Okay, brilliant." And then they sent me to the back of the room, which was the sales guy who buys and sells the houses. And he says, we get asked to do all these, a lot of like bougie houses and with the kitchens and everything. He goes, I like the way you've come in. I like the way you've presented yourself. I've actually, and he turned his monitor around and he showed me my website straight away. So he instantly was like, okay, no, you're looking like you know what you're doing. And then he seen the witch, and then he seen the 10-year warranty, he seen the HIP, and he kind of was just like, right, okay, I've actually got 2 kitchens for you right now if you want to go and price them next week. And then the houses that he actually gave me were £1 million each. So I was like, yeah, brilliant, I'll get back to you. It was really nice to meet you, and I look forward to doing business with you. And so that was a my lunch break, 12 o'clock. I thought, you know what, I'm just going to try this. What have we got to lose? And then that's where I feel like I feel more comfortable doing things like that rather than the promoting yourself, because it's a lot of
Well,
and it's hard to do.
what sort of chance do you think you would have stood if you'd walked in without your Apex jacket on, without your website, without your witch, without your HIP, without all that stuff? What sort of conversation do you think that would have been?
Not a chance. It would have been, hi, yeah, give us your card and I'll be in touch. That's how the conversation would have been. But he was interested. He seen me logos, he seen the witch and everything. And like I said, he done the background check before he even got to the back of the room, so you could see he was on the website with checking me out and I think he always had the company number and everything, the VAT registration as well, being a limited company. All this was like, okay, no, he's a decent sized company, he knows what he's doing. And this is not an estate agent that's just your bog standard estate agent. This is quite the luxury houses, these. So this was like based in like Chester way, and I just thought, oh, next time I have a free day, I'm literally gonna research all my local estate agents and see what houses are up for sale of them. I'm gonna do exactly the same.
Yeah, is that because when you walked in the shop, you had your Apex jacket on, so he's obviously seen Apex and gone, right, I'll have a check on these while he's trying to schmooze everyone with the coffee. I'll check
Yeah,
him out.
yeah. But he actually commented when I got to the back. He goes, "Nice chick with the coffees. I like that." And I laughed. I said, "Well, first impressions count." And he was like, "No, I agree." And like I said, just make it count. Do a bit of research and see. Compliment them when they went in. I can remember saying to them, every time I come round here now, I see all your signs going up everywhere, especially on the big £1 million houses. And he was like, he was happy that they were, because it must have been his showroom. And he was like, yeah, no, we got very busy at the minute, so offer the compliments, and they're not fake compliments, they're real. Like, just be aware of your surroundings. Like I said, that's what's just come of me, just being aware of the signs that I'm going up, thinking, oh no, they're doing well, and that's it.
No, it's powerful stuff, mate. And obviously, like, in the absence of all the things that you walked in with, the conversation just wouldn't have happened, would it? It just wouldn't have been a thing,
No.
you know. And so, if someone else is gonna do that, because again, it's not something we put in the academy, but it's not something that we would say not to do. It's something that, if you've got the balls to do it, it's definitely worth doing, isn't it? I think when, like, say, other people that appreciate things like this, I think when we're a tradesperson, we think that these things are alien to us and we're not supposed to do things like that, and it doesn't feel natural. But when you go into like this business, you will realize that other people do appreciate these types
Yeah.
of things, don't they? Because
Yeah.
it's like when you come to an academy event or something like that, and you've got your community there, you've got your people around you. Do you know what I mean? But when you go to other businesses and have these conversations, you realize that actually I'm like this guy as well. So you do hit it off, and that's
Yeah.
what networking is about. That's
Yeah.
why networking is important. Ringing your builders, going into your estate agents and stuff like that. It's like these people are on your level. If you're trying to get somewhere, they're trying to get somewhere. Everyone's on a level, so it really does help, doesn't it? Get the conversation started.
Yeah, and what I will say though, I feel like play to your strengths. Like, I feel like I can talk to people, but what like my weaknesses is the networking. I feel like I could do it, but I feel like I'd get more results doing the things that you are good at. And I think it's good to know your strengths and work. So someone could smash out of the park doing the network events, and I feel like go for it then. Don't just do the one, go for it. But for me, I feel like I'm better to go to the local builders, see a builder, go speak to him, get one through there, go to estate agents, go to any like things like that, and that's where I feel like I would get leads easy doing it that way. Like I said,
Yeah, well, everyone needs to definitely play to their strengths. Like I say, it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea to do these things, but it wasn't yours a year ago. You've done it because you've gone, fuck it. You've gone, actually. And now you've seen the results, because if you think about it before, because obviously one thing we talk about a lot, well, I talk about a lot, is multiple revenue streams. Because you were only doing kitchens, weren't you, before? And now you're doing more than just kitchens.
Yeah.
So talk us through that, because obviously this segment is about opportunities. So you're now doing other things other than kitchens, aren't you? So obviously with the new web pages and the new system and the new services that we've got available in the academy, there'll be people in the academy that are going, well, I'm only a kitchen fitter, or I'm only a bathroom fitter, and they're not thinking like a business person, they're thinking like a tradesperson. So talk us through where you started when you first came in, and what other services are you now offering, and how did you make that happen?
So I came in just doing the kitchens, but what I say as well is I was a joiner, so I wasn't a kitchen fitter by any stretch. Like, and I think you've been quite patient with me as well with the things that I have done mistakes. But like I said, you are understanding. Like I said, you've made it clear that you're a team thing. I make mistakes, you make mistakes, we work together, and I think that's really helped. So from being a joiner to a kitchen fitter, I'm doing the kitchens now. Really got to grips with that, and then I'm now doing bathrooms. I've had a bit of troubles with like the recruitment side of things, but as soon as I've had the first one or two through, I think it's something that you need to go through. Like if you do want to grow your business, you do want to have um, multiple revenue streams, and I think that's really helped for me because I can remember doing the first bathroom I did. I was quite like, okay, I've got my kitchens, I finished one, and then I was like, right, okay, I'm not got it for these 2 weeks, but I've got one. But that bathroom was getting done that week, those 2 weeks. I was thinking, okay, so I'm actually still good. And like what you just said, just proofs in the pudding there, where I just had the 2 weeks, but those 2 weeks, I was like, right, okay, what can I do else in my business? So you didn't just waste the 2 weeks. I'd go to builders, I'll do this, I'll do this. I'd have lead sources that I'd have coming in for down the line. And now I've actually got a couple of builders who are actually willing to just do a day rate for me, who does the whole extension construction side of things. So I'm looking now to get my website where I do the construction side of things as another stream of income that I can get through. Plus, when you have that as well, when you have the construction side of things, I always feel like it's easy to go, okay, I can do your extension, I can do the bathroom that you wanted, and I can also do your kitchen because they kind of all come into one. And you'd be surprised how many people would rather just go, yeah, I trust you now, you do that. And that's with the media walls and things like that as well. I'd take them all on as soon as I've got the two people in place that I can do that.
So let's talk about that for a minute then, because how did you decide then to go for the bathrooms? Because you weren't too comfortable with the bathrooms, where you were shitting yourself, if I
Yeah,
remember rightly. So there will be people shitting themselves going, because I think if you've got kitchens on your website, I think media walls, offices, and bedrooms are just really something that you really just should be offering, aren't they? Really, because it's a fucking joiner and it's all the same stuff. So why you wouldn't put them on your website and have your net cast a bit wider,
yeah,
so you can win more work, is a no-brainer. But bathrooms are a bit different, so this is a bit of a different world that some people just do not want to touch it. And you were in that camp of not wanting to touch it. So talk us through how you ended up doing the bathrooms.
I feel like for me, at the core, really, I'm an entrepreneur and I do want to do as much as possible to grow. It was kind of an obvious thing where if I don't want to do it, it's an income stream that I'm just cutting off because I'm scared. At the end of the day, that's it. If you if you need to learn about it. Like I can remember having countless conversations with you and Lee and go, right, okay, listen, I don't even know where this is going. What are you talking about with the soil pipe needs to change? You can't change a bathroom to suit that. And things like that. And I was thinking, I don't know enough. But at the end of the day, if you're employing someone, you don't need to know. You need to know about the design, but run that through your bathroom guy, your bathroom fitter. Like run that through. Go. Don't pretend that you know everything. Your customer, you go, oh, okay, yeah, that's fine. Not too sure about this, but I'll get back to you on it. You don't have to pretend that you know it all. At the end of the day, you're a kitchen fitter, and you can say, oh yeah, my main source is a kitchen fit, but the only reason I do bathrooms is because I had that high much of a demand because they want the bathrooms doing. I've got the team there, and that's how you can approach it. I don't feel like you should approach it with a I know everything because you can get found out very quickly.
Yeah.
And it's the same with the construction. I know that I'm going to be doing the construction quotes now, and I've had a word with my guy who's going to do all that for me, who's trusted. I've seen his work. Make sure you do check on them and do do your background checks and make sure they're good, basically, because that's what can. I think that in itself would be the worst thing, because that was my worst fear. Really, is if he did something wrong, I wouldn't know how to fix it because I don't know what's wrong in the bathroom. But learn the basics. And there's a thing that I've done as well. The more you speak to people, the more you understand, and the more you have a bit of an instinct, and you can kind of tell who's a good one, who's a bad one, who knows what they're talking about, who doesn't. And it's usually the people who go, "Oh yeah, I can get that done for you in a week. Oh yeah, I'll smash that in, no problem." And they're the people you're like, okay, like, I'm not using you. And you want the people who come across and going, yeah, I can do that for you. Yeah, average bathroom takes about 2 weeks, so and I'm not gonna rush it. And if it takes me 3 hours to cut the curved tile around your base, around your tray, it's gonna take me 2 hours. And I'm like, okay. And then I'm like, okay, he doesn't want to come back to this job. This guy's telling me what I want to hear, and that's the type of. He's not telling me he's good. He's telling me he takes his time and he takes a little bit longer. That's the type of person that you kind of want to attract, rather than in and out. And you kind of, after speaking to trades over time, you kind of understand that, okay, you get a good judge of character.
You hear the language, don't you? And you get to know what's a red flag.
Yeah.
So you got loads more opportunities, fucking loads more compared to, and you're going to be switching on more by the sound of it. So you're going to be switching on more of these pages and CRM add-ons, which is going to give you even more earning opportunities. So I'm assuming earnings don't need numbers, but compared to what you were earning before you joined the academy to now, is there a big difference?
Yeah, massively. I'm just trying to get consistent now. You do the promise of hitting 10k a month. You can hit it. I've hit that, and if that's not proof, what is? And what we'll say as well, if there's anyone who's watching who's on the fence like I was, and I was like, right, is this really what I'm going to do and commit to? Because you do need to commit, and you do need to do your 90 minutes, because otherwise you're not going to get where you want to be. But if you're on the fence, honestly, it's the best thing I've ever done to do with my business. I've not looked back at it once and gone, yeah, you know what, they've messed up there. Another thing that I really love about the academy as well is, Aaron, you're always working hard about doing the next thing. You're looking at stuff that we're getting up to, and you're going, right, okay, well, actually, these are growing quicker than we thought we were going to grow. We need to put this in place before they get to that. And for us, it's like, okay, so we're not our second thought. Like, okay, we're growing, and you're actually putting things in place where when we're actually at the top, you can give us guided stuff when we're at the top, so we're not making mistakes even when we're growing and growing and growing. So my goal is just try and hit that 10k a month every month.
Some of you fuckers are giving me some sleepless nights at the minute. I tell you, fucking hell. Keep saying to Lee, like, we built this lovely academy. Like, what a lovely business this is, and it's like, it'd be dead nice. And then you get fucking people like you and the rest of your crew that are all fucking flying, and then you're like, right, what we're doing next? And I'm like, for fuck's sake, like, give us a break, will you? Just fucking chill for a bit.
It's good. It's so good to know that you're telling us to put the work in, but you're putting the work in yourself, and that just shows.
Yeah, it's a graft. It's a graft keeping on top of to be fair, the people that don't try anymore, we don't really put a lot of effort into them, because at the end of the day, people don't want to do it for themselves. We've learned this the hard way now, that we can't, expend a lot of energy trying to convince people that this is right for them. They either get it or they don't. But the people that do get it, they're the people that are getting all the attention, because it's like, well, actually, not that we don't want to help people that are struggling. That's different. Do you know what I mean? Because everyone does struggle in different ways at different times. But there's a difference between I'm trying and I'm struggling. And there's a difference between I'm not fucking trying and I'm struggling because I'm not trying.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? That's the difference with the people that you're going, actually, if you're struggling because you're not trying, then there's nothing I can do to help you there. But if you're trying and you're struggling, because everyone will struggle, and there'll be times in the future where your business presents new challenges and new things, and you have to, come to us again for things. And there'll be periods where you need help and where you don't. But again, we are keeping in front of you. We are trying to keep in front of you. So what would you say then after all this? Because it sounds like you've changed quite a lot in the last sort of 12 to 18 months as a person. So in your mindset, what has been the biggest shift there, do you think?
I think going back to just, you don't you don't kind of simmer on your problems, you just get them done. You do what you're told, you get the 90 minutes in, and like I said, if that's the issue that's on your mind, get rid of it, get it done, do that on your 90 minutes. Do just I think what a lot of the entrepreneurial thing is as well is you hit the problems now and you think, okay, this is the thing that I need to solve. It's not, what am I doing? It's okay, let's just get this sorted today. I struggle with the social media side of things, and I've tried to do a bit of research on it all and learn how to do the videos and things like that. But at the end of the day, I just need to start implementing things more than just learning. And that's what as a character, you'll just learn what you're not good at. And then I feel like over the time that I've been at the academy, I feel like I've always done a lot more reading up than actually implementing. And I feel like I work a lot better now if I implement it, then go, right, okay, I'm implementing it, just get it done and see how it works. Like, I know you've done the analogy where you break something and then you go, let's just fix that again then. And I feel like that's a lot faster than, yeah, I don't know about that. Just implement it. Like 100% implementation is, I feel like, a huge thing that I've started doing rather than.
Yeah, I think with the academy as well, I mean, what people have got to realize is in business, bear in mind, everybody that's in the academy doesn't have to follow the same path that I followed. My path was a lot harder and a lot longer because I was building all this. So I implemented a lot of things that didn't work. Tried that sales process wasn't the first thing that I tried. I tried loads of different things. Didn't work, or they didn't work very well. So that this sales process that we've settled on fucking works really well. Do you know what I mean? And that's why everything that's in the academy, you can implement it with confidence. So you don't need to sit there worrying about, will this work? Will that work? It all works. Do you know what I mean? And like, you've got to pick the bits. You might not need to do all of it, but there'll be a number of things in there that really get your business moving. And you don't need to worry about testing it. The fucking testing's been done. All you need to do is fucking implement it.
Yeah, it is.
You know what I mean? And fix it later because it won't be perfect. But again, it amazes me this because people sit and look at the academy and some of the things in there and still think about doing them. And it's like, fucking just do it.
Yeah, and I have done that. Like I said, what about the social media thing? Like you feel uncomfortable with it, and the natural thing you do is, okay, I need to learn about this a bit more. But if you had the mindset of going into the academy and just going, right, okay, I'm just going to start from one and go through all and just implement everything that you just learned, you'd be absolutely fine and you won't have to worry about anything. But my problem is you do have that second thought, okay, I could just try and do this, but that's never really helped anyone.
No. No, it doesn't help. It doesn't help because we always say, like, it's been tried and tested. Just get on with it. Just put it in place and worry about it later. Fix it as it needs to be fixed later on. I mean, people come back to us sometimes, I'm not sure about that. But do you know what I mean? It's like, it just gets really boring because it's like, listen, we've tried and tested this for over a decade, well over a decade, probably more than that, way more than a decade now. So big mindset shift there then. So what impact has it had on you, do you think, personally, like as a person? How do you think you've changed as an academy member?
I feel like once you know what you're doing, you become more relaxed. You expect things that you wouldn't even think about. You expect problems and you become more relaxed. You look forward to the events and you just have a different outlay of what is a problem and what isn't, and what your life that you're living as well is, okay, you know where you want to get to in life, and just, I don't know, it kind of gives you the ladder to get where you want to be. You just need to climb it.
And how has this impacted like your loved ones, like your family? What impact has been felt there, like at home?
Yeah, so I feel like another one, impact at home. There's one of the I can't remember what module it is now, but on the academy there's one of those things where you set a time, get your time that you're going to be doing work, and what you're willing to sacrifice, what time you're willing to sacrifice. And one of the things that I was never willing to sacrifice is the time that I'd have with my kids. So since I get home until I go to bed, anything around that or before that, I'll work. But just having the clarity on when you want to put the effort in, and you're gonna do the effort, and when you don't feel guilty about, oh, I'm not spending enough time with my kids, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. I feel like once you're clear on your goals and clear on how you want to approach it and actually write it down, put it to pen to paper, what you actually have got planned. It's not really a matter of when. It's just a matter of, it's not a matter of how, it's a matter of when, because you've got the things set in place and you're doing it step by step. And it kind of, each week, like every time I look back, I go, okay, where was I last year? And you think, have I done enough this year? And you look back and go, yeah, I've done 10 times much more than I would have done when I was doing my own business without any coaching or help from the academy. 100%, there's no question about it.
So you made a lot of progress this year then, and you're happy with that? Yeah.
Massive.
Good. I can see the smile on your face. So what's the one thing that you've achieved then now that you didn't think was possible before?
Well, I can remember going back to when Apex Joinery, I can remember looking at Witch when I was thinking, right, okay, I'll get out my target was to get Witch, and within like 2 years, I can remember thinking to myself, I'll get my company to a standard where I can get Witch within 2 years. And then when I came onto the Apex Kitchens and joined with yourselves, I got Witch within 6 months, and it was just like, okay, I think that was like speaks for itself. And then, but that really, Witch is great and everything, but for my goal, but that's just showed how limited my beliefs were. Like, you've broken the beliefs the way you can actually get to. Like, so for Witch, for me, I was thinking, all right, if I become a Witch trusted trader as a company, I'm going to be up there. I'm going to be the top and all the rest of it. But Witch is kind of a stepping stone in the academy. It's not a goal. It's when you've the stepping stone that you just gradually get through, and then it's the 10k a month is the proper goals, and it's when you're hitting that consistently is the goal after that, and then after that, it's wherever you want to stop, wherever you want to put on your declaration. That's the goal. That's where you're going to set to. That's where you're putting the effort towards, and that's where you want to be at the end of the day. And then goals change as well. If you get to there and you're thinking, okay, I'm happy with the amount of the work I'm putting in, I'm happy with the money I'm getting out, I'm happy to stay here, stay there. If you want to grow to 30k a month, be having a conversation with Aaron.
Well, yeah, you can do. Yeah, I mean, people will listen to that figure and think, fucking hell, no way. But it is doable. Again, there's a big growth curve needed there, but I think everyone is capable of it. I think that's one of the things I always say to people. Everyone, the people currently in the academy is the everyone that I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm not talking about everyone in the industry, because a lot of people that can't do it just haven't got the wiring up here, But if you've taken the step to join the academy, you 100%, if you've signed up and you've got here, you 100% have what it takes. Because otherwise, there's something in you that's already made you do that. So it goes to show that it's in there. Do you get what I mean? That the next thing is whether you can get out your own way, get your fucking ego under control, and focus on the things that you're supposed to be focusing on, and implement the stuff that we tell you to implement. If you do those things, you can do anything you want.
Yeah,
But you've got to get out your own way.
Yeah.
So looking back, how does life feel now compared to when you first started?
Well, when I first started, it was a bit, money was tight. I was going for it. It was my last chance, to be fair, I think, before I was just going to get a normal job, employed somewhere, go back to the rat race, which I hate the thought of. But at the start, it was my last chance, and I thought, right, I'm going for it. I'm going to grab it with both hands. I'm going to full on go for it as best I can. And it's not going to be an effort thing that if you do fail, it's not going to be down to the effort. It'll be down to circumstances. And I fully had that, still do now. Like, that's the way I look at it. If I do fail, it's not down to effort. And if you have that mentality, I think that'll take it a lot further. But now I feel more relaxed. I've got my routine. I feel like I'm being productive every week, and even just in my day-to-day life, I feel so much better. I know that like fitness is a big deal about things. Managing your time's huge. I even got to a point now where like there's certain people that I used to entertain, and I'm just like, no, like I don't really want to be listening to you. Like, you make decisions like that now, and you think just because of the way that you've been taught by yourselves and you take on board. And if you do take it on board, you think, okay, I'm not actually wasting my energy with that. And you think it just puts you in a different space and you can understand it. As soon as you're there, you're like, oh, okay, I understand where I need to be. I understand how to be. I feel like you become a different person, but for the better.
Do you think that, was you at the event last year on the 8th of November when we did the standards workbook and all that stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you find that helped?
Got it here somewhere. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't drink now.
Did you drink then?
I used to, I'd say I drink on the weekends, but now I don't really. I'll drink on events when I go to an event or a party, but that's really it. I won't do anything like that. I do walking now. I do walking since we climbed Snowdon, and you said every successful person needs to implement walking because it clears your head in the morning, and you get in your head what you need to get done. It does help. It does help. Sleeping, I am actually still struggling with the whole sleeping thing. It's something that I'm working on, but I'm working on it. I've identified it as a problem. I am working on it. The problem is I do a lot of work overnight, and I'm trying to flip that. But I've actually been trying to do that for probably about 6 months, where I actually get up early and do the work. But in my head, I feel I work overnight because I know that I can just keep working until I get what I need to get done. But in the morning, you're limited to until you go to do your kitchen fit. So that's something that I'm working on at the minute, and that's something that I want to try and implement. But that's something that I have struggled with trying to.
Do you think that health and fitness has had a big impact on the business as well?
Yeah, massively. Yeah, huge. Just different mind space again. I feel like you think clearly, you approach things differently. You've got a different mentality of being positive. I feel like you have more of a positive attitude towards things than a negative sat on the couch going, oh, yeah, do it tomorrow. You've got going for a walk, do the gym. You get back and you go, okay, yeah, no, I'll do it now. Get stuff done. Don't wait till tomorrow because it accumulates.
Yeah, it does. So what's the plan then for the next 12 to 18 months for you?
For me, I'm trying to get a good team together. I've got my construction guy now. I've got my bathroom fitter. I'm trying to get a team together where I can have everything on my website, all the streams coming through there. Another thing, what I will say as well, with having all of those on there, I am in the Academy Plus as well, so that's all SEO. So I know it's a lead source at the end of the day as well, which you're paying for, which is cheaper than Checker Trade and the better leads. Like that's another thing that I feel.
Are you getting leads for your website?
Yeah.
All right. How many do you think you're getting at the moment?
I say 1 to 2 a month through the website, but then I'm getting 1 or 2 a month through the builders. I've actually just approached another builder last week, which he's just sent me one over, and then I'm getting leads from the estate agents now as well. So that's bringing me up to 8 to 10.
Yeah, so that's sort of, spreading the leads across everything. How long have you been in Academy Plus now?
A year and a half is, I think, 2000.
No, it can't be Academy Plus. We didn't launch it until the end of last year.
Wait, the Academy Plus,
Yeah.
2 months.
All right, so you're quite new into Academy Plus. But you're already getting a couple of leads a month coming through the website. And do you think, are the leads good quality leads that you're getting?
Yeah, better than the Checker Trade. 100%.
Yeah. Because what's interesting is when we've spoke to other people, again, you haven't been in for that long yet, so those leads will increase over time. But some of the guys that have a lot going on as well as you, that are successful in the academy, what was interesting was, I think it was Grant from Elite said that they're not paying anymore for leads through My Builder and Bark and things like that. Because so basically what's going on here then, just to make, this is a bit of a bold claim, but it is what's happening now. People are obviously spending more on the Academy Plus and these extra services on the websites and all the rest of it, but they're not spending money on chasing leads or through My Builder, Bark, and all these types of websites. So what Grant was saying was that they've gone from spending 400, 500, 600, 700 quid a month chasing these leads to that cost has dropped to practically nothing. So what the Academy subscription is actually become a negative cost. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's got rid of these other marketing costs, and now they're just paying for their Academy subscription. But because they're Academy Plus, they're basically getting leads, more the leads than what they need, and that they're doing 30, 40, 50 jobs a year. They're doing a lot of jobs, and they're getting 2 to 3 leads a week at the moment through the website. So it's really interesting that you've been in a couple of months, you're already starting to see a trickle of leads, high quality leads at that. So within another 6 to 12 months, probably way less than that, you'll be getting probably 2 to 3 leads a week, I would imagine.
But if I had those pages on my website as well, though, that'd even give me more leads as well.
Yeah.
If I have the construction side of things, the media walls, the offices, that'll generate leads as well. So it won't be just the leads for the kitchens, it'd be leads for everything else as well. So I think you would get more.
Yeah, I think obviously it remains to be seen because these pages are new, but I have a feeling that over the next 6 to 12 months, those pages, because media walls, bedrooms, offices, and stuff like that, they're going to be a much easier way to get traffic into your website. So kitchens and bathrooms, obviously very competitive because you've got lots of massive retailers out there that are pushing that, but when you go into the other sector, like media walls, bedrooms, offices, yes, there is some competition, but it's nothing like kitchens and bathrooms. So I think I don't want to say like it's a definite guarantee, but I'm pretty confident that
Yeah.
the traffic that comes through those pages and the SEO and the blogs that we do around those will bring more eyeballs to the website. And even if someone's looking at a media wall, they might go, "Oh, they do kitchens as well." Do you know what I mean? And you'll get leads like that. So it's interesting to see where that might end up in a little while. Pretty excited about that because Academy Plus has already exceeded expectations in terms of what it's doing for people, for the cost as well. It's nothing, is it? So yeah, it's interesting that. So final word then, if someone's watching this, they're thinking about the Academy, they've seen it, they're sat on the fence, they might have had a discovery call, they might be thinking about booking on, it might be the first time they've ever seen this and thinking what the bloody hell is it all about. What would your advice to them be?
I've been there. I've checked out companies and I've gone through things, but like I said before, this is by far the best investment I've ever made, hands down, and it's only getting better. Um, you get the leads through the SEO if you get to that stage, but um, there's also lower packages that you can get through as well, which is easier if you don't have the money, which I didn't have at the start. But yeah, 100% hands down. If you're on the fence, basically have a choice if you want to stay where you are, where you're unhappy, obviously, or you can make a choice and get to um, have your apex, have your kitchen brand, have your the business that you want, have the business where how far you want to scale it, how big you want to be. It's a no-brainer. It's such a no-brainer. We even have a guarantee about if it doesn't work for you, you have got your money back. If that doesn't speak volume, don't be emotional about it. Get it done.